This is the fourth episode of the Breakthrough Mindset series, and it's episode number 111, my favorite angel number. So, you've been exploring your barriers, building your confidence, and stepping into a new identity. Now, how do you turn all that inner work into real, tangible results? I'm Valerie, and today on Business by Design, I'm talking about gaining clarity and taking aligned actions that bring your next level success to life. Join me. Hello, I'm Valerie Priester, and this is the Business by Design podcast. Are you a woman entrepreneur who absolutely loves what you do and enjoy helping others, but for some reason, you can't seem to get out of your own way? You can't seem to get out of your head and really create the level of success that you desire? I get it. I truly understand. I've been there too. You see, I spent years searching for, what do they call it? The holy grail, the secret sauce, right? To success. And what I learned along the way is all of the women that I knew that were very successful had one thing in common, and that was their way of thinking. Now, I know you may be saying it can't be that simple, can't be that easy, right? But the truth is, the number one key or secret, however you want to label it, to success is your way of thinking. It's your mindset. It's what you believe and what you think is possible for you. And so that's exactly why I created this podcast. I want to help you get out of your head, get out of your own way. I want to help you get into more profits, more passion, and more power. I want to help you to shift away from old beliefs and release old ways of thinking, self-sabotaging conversations, and help you shift into new beliefs that support your goals and bring lasting success. I want to help you design your victory so you can create the business and life that you desire. So if you're ready for some real talk about how to do that, if you're ready to really make the shift and move into greater possibilities and greater success, you're in the right place. Clarity is another very important and essential key to success. Without clarity, we may find ourselves fumbling around and feeling like we're always on this hamster wheel trying to figure stuff out. I know, for me, it was probably 2 or 3 years that I spent just not having the clarity that I needed in order to move forward and to actually grow to that next level of success. Right? So clarity is so very important. And clarity is not just about having a goal. It's about understanding the why behind it and then mapping out the steps to get you there, right? When you know exactly what you want, whether it's attracting high end clients, it could be launching a signature program or reaching a new revenue milestone, whatever it is, when you know this, you can reverse engineer your path, right? But without clarity, you're really shooting arrows in the dark. You're like throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks, right? But when you have clarity, every action you take builds momentum and leads you closer to the breakthrough, right? So let me go back for a minute and talk a little bit about your why, because that is also very important. It's a key element to your success, right? And let me say this, making money is not a meaningful enough why to sustain success. So many people start this entrepreneur journey with the why of, I want to make a lot of money, right? And they later learn that in the process of making a lot of money, there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle. There are a lot of responsibilities. There are a lot of things that must be done in order for you to make a lot of money. And if that is the only why, that is why a lot of people give up and a lot of people quit, right? So making money is not a meaningful enough why. I was just talking to a client this week, and she's having some challenges with consistency, right? So she asked me, why am I not as consistent in my business as I am with working out every day? And I asked her, what's your why for working out every day? She quickly told me it's to stay healthy and she loves seeing the results. Well, then I asked, what's your why for being in business? And she couldn't readily pinpoint her why. Now, she finally said, it's to produce or create freedom in my life. So, what we discovered through a little more in this conversation was she really had not built her business to produce freedom in her life. And this is why she was so challenged with consistency, because the things that she was doing did not promote freedom. They basically made her feel like she was restricted, and that her time wasn't her own, and she had to do all these things that was interfering with freedom. So of course it produced a lot of challenge, or it produced challenges with being consistent, right? So you have to know what your why is, and it has to be meaningful enough to keep you on track and to keep you focused on reaching your next level of success. All right. All right. Enough of that soapbox. Let's get back on track. Let's move on to taking aligned actions, which is another key element into moving to your next level. Right. And so, how you want to start with this is you want to start by listing out, like, what are your top 3 business goals for the next quarter? Right? Maybe it's doubling your email list. It could be launching a retreat, or getting featured in a major publication, right? What are the top 3? Now, I like to have my clients list like all of their goals for the year, but we focus on 90 days at a time. So for the first quarter of this year, 2025, what are your top 3 goals? Okay, identify those. And for each of those goals, you then want to identify key steps that you need to take in order to achieve those goals, right? Who do you need to connect with? What new skills do you need to develop, right? What resources will you need? Write all of that down. And then you want to look at those top 3 goals and prioritize them, right? Remember, confidence and a strong identity mean nothing if you're overwhelmed by this never ending to do list. I'm not a big fan of to do lists. I use them, but I make certain that I'm taking things off of the to do list every week that are most important. But those things lead to my top 3 goals, or 5 goals, 3 to 5 goals for the quarter. Right? So there's a way to use the to-do list so that you don't become overwhelmed, but you want to make certain that you have a clear action plan, right? And when you focus on a few, 3 per quarter, aligned high impact actions, and really commit to them, that's what's going to help you reach that next level, right? And reach it without the overwhelm. Now, this strategic focus and way of doing this is what ensures that every step that you take aligns with the bigger vision that you've been cultivating all this month, that as we've been talking about moving to that next level, right? So again, I teach my clients to plan 90 days at a time. And this prevents the overwhelm, and it fosters focused, aligned actions. Okay? Simplify it. Don't overcomplicate it. Because if you do, you're not going to be consistent with it. You're going to drop it. And before you know it, we're like halfway through the year and you haven't accomplished the goals that you have set for yourself. right? And that will prevent you from reaching the next level of success. Now, another key thing is you must stay flexible and resilient. Because even with the clarity and a clear action plan, things may not go the way that you want them to go. They may not unfold perfectly in your world, right? And you may need to pivot and reprioritize the goals that you have. Now, this is where your breakthrough mindset that we've been talking about all month, and the confidence and the new identity, all those things come into play when things don't work the way that you plan for them to work, right? When the unexpected happens. This is when you use the tools and adapt to the unexpected without losing momentum. And that's all a new mindset, right? It's also knowing that when we have setbacks, they're not failures. They are opportunities to learn, to refine what it is that we're doing, to pivot, right? But also to keep moving forward. And your clarity is your North Star. When you know what you want and you've identified that, that is your North Star. And your mindset is your compass. Like, how do I navigate through the uncertainties or the unexpected, right? That's all about your mindset. So know that when you implement these things and when you really have a clear plan, your next level is waiting for you. So, in our last episode, which will be next week, I will help you explore how to sustain your momentum and to celebrate your wins. That's another key element to reaching that next level success that you desire. Remember, designing your victory is a choice, and you just need to step forward and claim it. Until next time. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Business by Design podcast. If you love what you're hearing each week, let me know by leaving a rating and a review. And don't forget to follow the show so you don't miss out on proven mindset techniques, strategies, and tools to help you design your victory and create the business and life you desire. Also, if you're ready to talk about the business and life that you really want, head on over to valeriepriester.com and schedule your private business breakthrough clarity call. Until next week, remember, designing your victory is a choice. Start today.